Good morning. Hello, wakey, wakey, America. Good afternoon, good evening, good day from wherever else you're coming. Welcome to For the Record podcast. Missing main man. I feel empty inside. I'm all alone. No one to play with. Yes. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get hold of Steve. I do remember him saying something about doing renovations and creating, because he's been streaming from his lounge room with a young child and a baby, and it hasn't been. Good morning, Tricia. It hasn't been particularly easy to find a quiet place. So I know that they were doing some alterations to get cabling put in and adjusting one of their rooms for him to stream from. And I've got a feeling that's what he's in the middle of doing, because I've not been able to get him on any platform. So he has all the links, he has all the invitations, and I'm hoping that at some point when he wakes up today, he can join us. That would be good. But otherwise, we shall rock on, because I've got so much. As you know, Miss Tricia, my brain does not stop ticking. So this database is like, it's like Christmas for me. Because as I'm watching the trial, I'm like, oh, what did they say last time? I don't remember them saying that. No. And I go back and check, and I'm like, yes, I was right. So I was having to play around with it this morning, and I was mainly going to focus on the Jen McCabe and Kerry Roberts. It feels like so long ago that was on. Was going to focus on their testimonies and how Kerry Roberts being impeached on the fact that she didn't hear Karen ask Jen to Google search hypothermia, how that affected Jen McCabe's testimony, because she went straight after and she had no idea. Whether that affected her credibility, whether that affected her, I wanted to know what impact that had, if any, on that particular statement and testimony. And then it went from there. And of course, we had Yuri the last couple of days. Well, yeah. It's like banging your head against a brick wall. And then there was Ryan Nagel's. The timeline does not add up to me. The timeline of Karen and Ryan arriving and Brian Higgins' supposed plough being in the same place. Because I've searched and searched, and the timeline the only thing it shows is 12:20. He texts John saying, "Are you coming here?" And then after that, there is nothing until he is at Canton PD. So there's a lot in the middle missing. So I went from that to what did I ask it? Oh, then I wanted to know, because I found out that the prosecution now is not actually calling Trooper Proctor. They're not calling Brian Tully. They're not calling Brian Higgins. They're not calling Colin Albert and possibly Chris Albert. Don't quote me on that one. And they're not calling Irene Scordi-Bello. Now, if you remember in the motions hearings before the trial, Hank wanted to have the manner of death from Irene Scordi-Bello's death certificate she'd put indetermined on there, or undetermined. on there. And he wanted to have that not included, basically. Didn't want that on there because it didn't say homicide. And he wasn't going to call the ME. So Judge Bev said no, stays. So he has then, since he's still not calling her, but he has then gone and gotten obviously another ME to analyse it. And yeah, so he's not calling Trooper Paul. Come on. Now, he was fun. So what he's done, basically, he has taken out all of the potential issues with his prosecution. All the answers that he didn't like, he's taken out and he has replaced with another witness or another expert, basically. So he has another medical expert. He has another dog bite expert. He has another crash reconstructionist. So basically he just went and got experts that would give him the answers that he wanted. And I wanted to know how that in itself would affect the overall case. Obviously, because, that makes a huge difference. And how then does the defense counteract that as a knock-on effect? Like, they obviously must be aware, they do know that he's not calling these people. How do they then adjust their strategy to counteract that? And what do they focus on? And how then do they bring in that information? Like, how do they bring in the Michael Proctor text messages, and how do they bring in everything else? And we saw a little bit of it yesterday with Yuri, where they were able to bring in the Higgins messages. That's the only way they could do it, because they're not calling Higgins in. And so then they don't have to deal with the issues of Brian not coming out of the house, both Brians butt-dialing each other, both Brians getting rid of their phones, any of the issues with, the dog, the house, it all goes away. You don't call them, it goes away. Which, again, to me, not a fair fight, not a fair trial. You can't just, in my opinion, I feel like they've already manipulated the evidence as it stands. And because they didn't get the right answer, or they didn't manipulate it enough, they're now paying other people to come in and give them what they want. And if that's justice, then I'm sorry, Massachusetts, you suck. You suck big time. Yeah, suck big time. Anyway, so where shall we start? All right, so the first question I put in. So what I've done, I'll explain to you what this actually is. It's a legal database that I have purchased the software of, and it's designed specifically for the legal profession. And I believe it's something similar to what they use in court anyway. Good morning. Hello, my darling. Hello. Well, you've come at a good day, because today is ask any question you like day, and get your answer. So I was just explaining, I put this database that basically, yes, it is designed to analyze legal documents, transcripts, court pleadings, you name it. So I have painstakingly uploaded every single testimony from the complete first trial. So the whole of trial 1, every witness testimony is in there. And right up until the end of day 13, yesterday, Yuri's the second day of his cross, everything that's in there as well. So everything right up until end of day 13 is in this database, and therefore any question that you ask the database, it will answer you in a factual manner. You've got the link, sweetheart. Just click on the link. Click the link and you'll pop up in the bottom. It's in your emails. Tan's just messaged me. She's going to join us, which is nice. And she's like, I'm here. Oh, you've got to go into the podcast. You're in the wrong studio, I think. I've got iPad, phone, computer. Go in the podcast studio. Thanks, Siri. Send. And then she'll pop up on my screen and we'll be good. Yes, so if you can think of any questions, you are more than welcome to type them in chat and ask, and it will give you the answer. So I started off with, it's very cold here. Oh, Tricia, you know my issue I had with my fairy lights. Tan came and saved me to hang them up. Couldn't do it. All right. Let's go back to plan. She's typing. I sent you the link, you ning nong. Hang on, I'll send it again. I did that yesterday, so I didn't forget. Okay. Da 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 da. There you go. Did Jen call her sister Coco before Karen called her? Oh, okay. As in the timeline. So who called her first? Then called sister Coco before Karen called her. All right. Let's see. Using the information provided. Identify and extract the timeline. That was after, wasn't it? Hello, Simi. How you going? It was. Hello, Missy. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. Oh, sorry, man. I had issues because I pulled my computer apart and moved everything, but then I also had Ricky's 4 terabyte hard drive that screwed up in there, and I think when I took that out, I had to reset some things. But then I also realised my microphone wasn't working, and you know what? I had both of the cables plugged into power instead of one into the computer. Oh my God! You know.
I know. People don't realise actually how much is involved in setting up just one stream, and that's without running it or sharing anything else. All right, I'll just type this message in for Palola's mum. Now the timeline, I think, that was after Was that after John was found, Palola's mum? Is that when you're looking? Because I have two answers for that. I have the actual timeline. Did you get my were you able to open any of the stuff, Chan?
Yes, well, I had to sign up to a iDrive.
No.
Well, it just wouldn't let me. It said I didn't have permissions. No, it's free. Didn't ask for a credit card.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. It said I didn't have permission.
Even the zip ones that I sent you? I sent 3 different ways to try and work out.
Yes. So the zip ones, I downloaded it, but I just hadn't got there to unzip it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I had unzipped it.
That's what he said.
I'm just trying to find it. A long time ago. No, today would be nice. Oh, fuck it, I'll unzip it again.
Was she warning the Alberts? Okay, so that was just after she found John. Is that correct? I'm thinking that's when that phone call was. Let me have a look on the actual timeline because I have sleuthy goosies. Now, that would have been, just after 6. Where are we? Okay. Jennifer. No.
What's it putting?
Jen McCabe texts John. Jen McCabe calls her sister Nicole at 5:07 a.m. and 5:05 a.m. Karen calls first. Karen calls. Oh, hang on.
Kerry, doesn't she?
Karen Reid calls Jen McCabe at 5:05.
Doesn't she call Kerry first?
Yeah, but the question is, did Karen ring before or after Jen to speak to Coco, her sister Nicole? So Jen calls her sister at 5:05, straight after Karen has called her. So twice.
Yeah.
And then I think Karen doesn't ring Nicole, does she?
I thought she did. No, not Nicole.
The 5 a.m. call before Karen.
Kerry.
Yeah.
Kerry.
Yes. As far as the timeline goes, Lola's mum, I'll share this at stage. So this is the actual timeline. Let's get out of that so that I can zoom it in.
I think I've got that, haven't I? I've got all this unzipped now. Is it all in this folder?
Every question that I've asked today that I'm going to discuss is in that folder, yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So the timeline would be from you at some time in email.
The timeline is an Excel spreadsheet I've sent you.
Yeah.
From sleuthing to shared Excel spreadsheet. So Jen, 5:05. Karen calls Jen here at 5:05:01. Then Jen calls Karen back. Jen calls Nicole Albert 5:07. And then scrolling up. Yes, so she calls her after.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely, it was a warning. Absolutely. But did you hear? So that the whole out of the house thing is a completely separate issue. That's more to do with, well, it's both of them, mainly Brian Albert. So Brian, what I discovered, because it's always bothered me, Palola's mum, that he didn't come out of the house. That has always been an issue for me. And
yeah,
I've thought to myself, there had to have been something of benefit to him for him not to do that, because he's a police officer. They're sticky noses. There is no way, there is not a hope in hell that he ain't coming out of that house if there is something going on in his front lawn. I'm telling you now.
No, that's right.
It had to have been something to benefit him or protect him in some way. Otherwise, he'd have been out there. And if you think for a second that he didn't hear or see any of that shit, you don't think coming. So.
Oh, I had to. Yeah.
So I've searched and searched and searched, and I came up with what I believe is the answer. Now, in Massachusetts, as you know, they have their own set of rules and regulations, apart from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
There is what's called a Declaration of Rights. Now, in this Declaration of Rights is an Article 14. You can look it up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look up Article 14, it is to do with property owners and criminal behaviour on their property, on or around their property.
All right.
This is Article 14 pertains particularly to over and above the Fourth Amendment. So it adds an extra layer of protection to property owners if there is criminal activity on their property. Because if they don't engage in it, like if there is no reason for any police, or if they're not involved in the resuscitation or anything like that, then there is no probable cause. And then there is no reason for them to enter the premises. Okay? They cannot search.
Yeah.
They cannot ask questions. They cannot do anything. They must go through the channels to get a warrant to be able to access that house if they have not inserted themselves into it. Had he come outside, that all changes. They can interview him, they can ask him, they can come into the house, they can search. And as we saw, when Jen came in and opened that door, Lank followed her in.
Mm-hmm.
But what that did, by not coming out, he bought time. He bought time for cleanup. He bought time to either, tidy up the house, get the story straight. He bought time so that if anyone said, we want to search the house, get out, you need a search certificate, a search warrant. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He also then, had he not been involved in, like, had he not been with John the night before, he could have potentially protected himself from becoming a witness as well. So it's not like a foolproof thing. It's not
Yeah. It's not
right
the be
thing,
all
but
and end all, but
it just adds that extra red tape for if you're going to do an investigation, they have to follow, and that buys time. Now, that also then answered my question to why the crime scene was left unattended. Well, if you don't look for any evidence for anyone else, you don't find any, do you?
No, well, that's it.
Leave it open. Why?
Yeah.
You don't call in crime scene investigators. You don't find any evidence for anyone else either, do you? No. Nothing. And then after 12 hours, when the CERT team, against their own protocol of 1 to 2 hours response time, at the 12-hour mark, get called in, the blizzard has diluted, blown away, dissolved, whatever, any other evidence that may be lurking there, except for the ninja hair.
That ninja hair, man.
That hair that's on steroids, that's on the back of Karen's car, the one that, you see the footage. You see the footage of them leaving Meadows, and her brother sweeps off the snow from the bumper. No, there's a glass fragment and a hair that stay there. So just said, yes, that's right. We are the cool kids. Do you want to hear something really, really funny, Simi? Oh, Tanya is our official fact finder and also owner of After the Facts. She's also a content creator, but I've got her way too busy doing my research for me, or not doing my background stuff
and avatars.
Yeah,
avatars.
excuse me, she is the creator. Oh, I haven't got them in this studio. Sorry. It's completely separate. Yes, all of the avatars you've seen on the thumbnails and everything else, that's Tan. So she hasn't been able to do anything on her channel. Morning, Christine. Welcome. Happy Saturday morning. So yes. So what they've done, that first 8 hours, as you heard Yuri yesterday, every piece of evidence is important. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Every
Of course,
piece.
yes.
But you know, Proctor, no, wasn't lead. I wouldn't call it lead. He was assisting. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Why? Why would you not just? Why are you so scared to say that? Like all of them. The second that it got onto any of those topics, just evasive, completely evasive.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So I think that's part of Hank's plan. The less that they say, yes, that's why you chuck them all into one bag, right? What? Chuck what into the... Oh, that's what I was saying, sorry. I was saying something funny. Simi came across to me from Miss Shorty.
All right.
Which I was listening to this morning. She's a dag and a half. And Simi, it's very, very sad, but my best performing video yesterday, last month, was my fart short.
Sorry.
Yep. And did you know I've just said, hey, Simi, and my phone's gone, mm-hmm. Yes. My best performing video for the month of April was a fart. Which I honestly did not realize was as loud as it was because I had noise cancelling earphones on. So to me, it was just a little rumble, little one cheek sneak, you know. There was no getting out of that one. That one had to be owned. No blaming the cat. So funny.
That was funny.
So,
okay.
That first 8 hours. Hey, where'd you go?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get my virtual background working, and it's
No, it's not. That's better.
Yeah, but then you can see everything behind it, and I've got to resize it. It used to work properly.
Aren't you supposed to see your hearts and your...
Yeah, but not the cupboard and everything. I've got to zoom in on the camera.
The second one that you did, yeah, that one, that's fine. Because it's only picking up where the green curtain is anyway. You won't be able to get...
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, it is too.
Yeah. So you've got to bring the curtain up higher, that's all.
Yes.
I
won't do that.
It was more
the camera down lower.
That's true, yes. Yep. Ta-da!
I haven't got my little paw print turned on because I couldn't find an extension.
Do you do you like the fairy lights?
Oh, look cool. Do you like my Hello Kitty light? Can you see her? I'm going to put her... Where am I going to put her?
I can balance it.
Yeah. I'm going to turn that around that way a little bit. Oh, remember this left to right thing I always get wrong?
I know.
Down a bit more.
So the first 8 hours, Proctor and Yuri didn't even go to 34 Fairview. Didn't even inspect it. You know, they've gone all the way to New York for a funeral for a fellow brother that's fallen. and they can't come out of their fucking front door. Nah, sorry. So
Yeah, that's disgusting.
yeah, well, it's
Right,
all
is that bad a
strategic.
little
It's
bit?
all strategic from the beginning. So
Oh, 100%.
they don't go and even have a look at 34 Fairview. They go straight to the hospital, and lo and behold, they inspect. They've been told by Jennifer McCabe that, you know, Karen had said, you know, I could have hit him. And so they go to the hospital, and they believe that his injuries are
Consistent.
consistent with a vehicular strike, because the major factor, the determining factor, he only had one sneaker on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we tried to look up that stat, didn't we?
Yes.
Like, there is no stat.
Nope, not anywhere. Now, I printed out, hang on 1 second, let me zoom over here. I need to move that printer.
There we go, that looks better.
One page, that'd be right. All right. I'm going to have to bring it up on my other screen.
Now, I looked at the witness list for both of them too.
Oh, the defense will be bringing up. They'll have to call the where'd it go? Come back. The defense will have to call Proctor, Tully, Higgins. But if they take the fifth, they can also still lost it now.
Wasn't there a thing that said the other day somewhere that they're not calling Higgins? Oh, I couldn't see how they couldn't. It's just bloody hard.
Prosecution are not calling
Proctor.
Higgins,
yes.
Proctor,
Albert,
Higgins, Tully, Brian Albert, Colin Albert,
yes.
The medical examiner. So what they basically
it's called a bellow. They don't like her, do they?
No, because she wouldn't change it from indeterminate. Remember at the start, Proctor got he got not caned, but he got hung shit on in his text messages saying that he was being called a rookie for not getting her to change it to homicide at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And he's texting his what do you call it? Colleagues.
Yes.
So what they've done is they have. I would love to do that, Simi. I would love to. She's so busy. I've invited many, many times, and I'm leaving it in her court because she's just flat out. Poor bugger.
Who's Lisa?
Lisa is Miss Shorty.
Oh, okay. Right,
she's
yeah.
In Faulkner. She does.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've been there. I went to a funeral in Faulkner. Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's the only times I've been there too.
And I tell you, I was like 8 months pregnant, and it was a Muslim funeral.
Oh, Lord.
And I didn't realise that smell it would be, because they only bury them this deep in shrouds, you know, and yeah.
Americans don't realise, but Faulkner over west Lisa lives has the biggest cemetery in Melbourne. So the only time I've ever been to Faulkner is for funerals. It's like saying Werribee, like go to Werribee because that's where our toilets end up. The poo farm is. So yes. Lisa does the traffic control. So she's up at like 3 a.m. and does the traffic control, and then comes back and plans all of her streams, and then streams all weekend.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah. She has to be. Yeah.
And she is a Suno legend too. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You and your Suno.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've sent her some of my songs, and she plays hers all the time. Right, so first 8 hours, Karen's guilty. They've got her car. They've got her phone because he's got one sneaker. Now, I asked it. I'm going to go back because I've gone off track now and skipped ahead. So the question that I asked was, identify and extract the following witnesses within the files provided, which is the trial 1 and 2, and provide a detailed analysis of their input as a whole, including their testimonies, their prospective roles, their overall influence on the outcome of the case within the big picture, their consistency and credibility as witnesses, and any potential motivation or benefit they may achieve by prosecuting Karen Reid, and their overall impact for the prosecution in the second trial if they were not included as witnesses. The names are Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, Colin Albert, Trooper Proctor, Tully, and Irene Scotty Bello. And this is what I got. I'll share the screen. Share this tab instead. Add to stage. And I don't know how to zoom this in at all, because it's completely separate thing. So this is the comprehensive analysis of what I just asked it.
I can read that.
It tells me all the steps that it goes through before it gives me an answer.
All right.
Yep. Brian Albert, retired Boston police officer, tells me his details, testified on what day, pivotal witness whose property was the crime scene. Okay. Consistency and credibility, showed significant inconsistencies in testimony about his prior knowledge of Karen, initially denied knowing her, admitted to socialising with her and O'Keefe at the Hillside Bar a week earlier. Admitted to upgrading his phone and effectively destroying data shortly before receiving a preservation notification. Potential motivation or benefit. The defence's theory suggested that the potential involvement of O'Keefe's death giving Albert motivation to deflect blame to Karen. As a former police officer, maintained connections with law enforcement community, including the Trooper Proctor and Brian Higgins, had family members in Canton Police, Kevin Albert, and preserving family reputation and avoiding scrutiny of his home and as a crime scene. Impact is not included in trial 2. Critical absence that would significantly undermine the prosecution's timeline of events would remove key testimony about the evening's events and who was present at the home, and it would strengthen the defence's narrative about the potential cover-up involving the Albert family. But that's provided if the defense note to the jury that they are missing witnesses. Like, the jury don't know that they're missing witnesses.
No, because they weren't there at the last trial.
So I think that this is assuming that the jury would know these facts, that these people weren't there. And that's why we saw yesterday Higgins's messages get brought in through Yuri, because Higgins is not coming in. But that gets rid of, dealing with all the phones getting removed, the dog, the house, the floors, the side, everything. So what Hank's done basically is just he has replaced them with experts. Oh, and Trooper Paul, the reconstructionist, he's not coming either. He's got another one.
Oh, really? Why not?
Yeah. He has just replaced everyone that had any potential to be third party or to be useless, pretty much got replaced by another expert who would give him the answer that he wanted.
Yeah.
The medical examiner. That's what he's done. So I cannot justify that, because that's, to me, is not a fair trial at all.
No, that's right.
You just go through whoever you want to until you get the right answer. And that's why he fought so hard for ARCA to be removed, because they annihilate everything. Every theory that he had, everything his prosecution is testifying to, or, blaming Karen, they can, they've shot to miss, like, they can contest it all. Everything. Even the the fall backwards and hitting his head theory, because they've done biomechanics and the effects of biomechanics on the human body. So it,
yeah, well, Trooper Paul sure as hell can't. I was actually listening to his today.
Did you see?
Funny, like the physics thing, and he's like, "Oh, blank face." You know, I got no idea. Basically, you should have said.
I did last year when it was on. I did a comparison between him and Daniel Wolf, and I re-uploaded. I re-uploaded it, so it sort of Jackson would ask a question, and then Trooper Paul would give his answer, and then Daniel Wolf would give his answer to the same thing, and I staged it like that. It's hysterical. It's hysterical. So if you see on my timeline, experts compared, that's Paul and Daniel Wolf being asked the same questions last year. It's hysterical. It's so
yeah. That's absolutely hilarious.
You're talking about acceleration.
Oh, thank you, Teresia. That's awesome.
Oh, Teresia. Thank you. It is Mother's Day today. You, man, I'm going to put a ban on you.
Okay, she's banning you now.
You've been told more than once to stop that. Thank you. But stop it. Oh, hang on, I've got to find my...
What?
Oh, my super chat thing's in another studio. Oh, I'm gonna have to find that. Hang on. I'll be...
So what do you mean? What? Is this the one that doesn't go through YouTube?
To the person that just gave us a super chat. This community is just the best. Love you all the different.
No, because I've got us saved as this is the podcast studio. So all the background and all of the media stuff is all, to do with podcast. So your one is a separate one, and the defense rest is a separate one as well. And all of my funny stuff is in the defense rest one. So I had to just nick over and get that. But thank you. Oh, hello. Where was you yesterday, mister? We saw your logo. But no Dan. No Dan is a man.
No Dan.
So happy Mother's Day to everyone, and thank you very much, Teresia. Now stop it. Stop it. Or I'll time you out. All right. So, all right. Well, no doubt Dan's here. He's going to give us some arguments. That'll be good. So I was just telling everyone, Dan, that prosecution is not calling Higgins, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, possibly Chris Albert, Irene Sporty-Bello, Trooper Proctor, and Trooper Paul. And so I asked my database how that would affect the case, and how then the defense would need to adapt their strategy to counteract that, basically. Now with Higgins, so he's the ATF special agent and the close friend of Brian Albert, and was present that night. For what times? I'm not sure, because that's just not anywhere. There is numerous timeline inconsistencies regarding his movements and vehicle positioning. Different witnesses gave contradictory testimony about where his Jeep was present and where it was parked. Ryan Nagel testified
if it was there at all.
Yeah, he never saw that Jeep at all, and it was parked in the exact same place where Ryan was supposedly pulled up at that time. And Ryan texted his so he can be corroborated at being at 34 Fairview at that time. Whereas Higgins, there is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, pretty much, Dan, they've just replaced every one of them with other experts that'll tell them what they want to hear. So they've bought their testimony. Baba admitted to disposing of his phone after receiving a preservation order. And then all those disgusting, like those texts yesterday were just the juveniles. It's like it was like listening to
Yeah.
12-year-old, for fuck's sake. Fuck almighty. Are you really that insecure? Like, fuck. I could not be bothered. But listening to them again, I actually think they hooked up.
Well, I kind of got that idea as well, to tell you the truth.
Yes. She was on her way home and he said, "Are you going to call by?" And then there was nothing, and then it was the next day. So
yeah,
I think they
I think they might have rubbed tummies a little bit.
might have done the big bang bang.
Maybe.
I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna beat your ass. So
yes, I thought that was interesting.
Now Colin Albert, he is an anomaly for me. I believe he is in the center of this completely, because I don't think that there was ever a planned attack against John or anything like that. I think it was purely accidental. Shit went down. He fell backwards, hit his head. They grabbed their pants. Oh, fuck. This is going to look really bad. What do we do? But there is no way you would get two mothers to stick their necks out to protect Brian Albert. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. It's got to be either one of the McCabe's.
No, they wouldn't.
And even if it was an accident, you know what I mean?
What if Colin was the one that pushed him and he fell backwards?
Yeah.
That's the only way you would get mothers protecting their children.
Because, I don't think they'd protect Higgins.
No. You will not get Jennifer McCabe going to that extent, or Nicole, or any of the others, if they weren't protecting a child. I'm sorry.
That's right.
So he's involved in there somewhere, but we can't prove it. And Ali McCabe is the only one that did the oopsie and said,
poor girl, she was devastated, wasn't she?
He wasn't there when John arrived. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. He wasn't there.
Funnily enough, they were the three people that I picked last year for the third party culprit. Was the two Higgins and Colin Albert downstairs in, that sounds like Cluedo, doesn't it? in the basement with the candelabra.
It was definitely in the basement. No, not definitely. Who knows? Yeah.
Because Lank came into the house after Jen went to go up to get to wake the Alberts, remember?
Yes, and the dog wasn't there.
Correct. But he entered the house. So, but they didn't go down and search the basement. The basement had those, it has those barn doors, those ones that open.
Yeah, slide across, right across the thing. Yeah.
To the backyard. And that just so happened to be just behind the gate, which was just behind the flagpole. Which, if you parked an F-150, was it, or a Ford Escape or something like that?
Ford Explorer Escape or something, wasn't it?
Just in front of that, it would quite easily be a 2-second dump and run. Just saying. So I don't know how they're going to get Trooper Proctor's texts in, but they, according to, I was watching Uncivil yesterday, and he said they can pretty much, the defense can pretty much, if he takes the fifth, that they can read his prior testimony straight out of, like they can get someone just to read his testimony in the text messages if they needed to, because it is prior testimony. It's evidence. So they can still get it in if they needed to.
Fair enough.
The actual process of doing that, I don't know, which I was hoping that I would have heard back from Mr. Steve. Let me see. No, it's not up yet, obviously. Although, what is it? 11:17 over there. Yeah.
Hang on, my world clock's on my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, go away.
Uh,
Da-da-da. You go.
So then, so we missed. If Irene Scotty Bello, she's been called.
Yeah, it's 11:17.
Anyway. Been called by the defence anyway, so that's not really an issue. But yeah, they didn't want her in because of her manner of death. So the overall analysis of that was, if they don't testify, the witnesses analysed represent a complex web of relationships and potential conflicts of interest. The Albert family members, but Brian and Colin, along with Brian Higgins, form a closely connected group with significant inconsistencies in their testimonies. Their accounts are crucial to the prosecution's timeline, but undermined by contradictions and evidence of potential coordination. Trooper Proctor's investigation shows problematic aspects, including delayed interviews, omitted information about Colin Albert, personal connections to the Albert family. His credibility was directly challenged by the defence through the text messages and obviously his dishonourable discharge now. The prosecution's case would be severely weakened in Trial 2 without these witnesses, as they provide the foundation for both the timeline of events, which they can bring in through other witnesses, and the physical evidence narrative. However, their inclusion brings significant credibility challenges to the inconsistencies, relationships, and potential motivations to shift blame away from the Albert family. The defence strategy consistently emphasised these interconnections and inconsistencies to suggest a potential cover-up involving these witnesses, portraying Karen Reid as a convenient outsider to blame for his death. So that would then impact their case. So I then asked, what strategic benefit would the prosecution gain by eliminating their testimonies and replacing them with alternate experts that have a more supportive influence towards the state's case and the impact that would directly have on the third-party culprit defence. Anyone got any questions? Because I'm just reading off my my questions at the moment. So these are the ones I was thinking of this morning.
Oh, I jotted some down.
Yeah. Type them in, love. Type them in the...
Oh, in the chat?
Yeah, and I'll star them, and then I won't forget to ask it.
Okay.
When you know how it asked you to sign up?
Yeah, that AI thing, folder, yeah.
So did that open up into like a search engine thing?
It was weird. I don't know what it opened up to.
I think it's actually opened up into potentially the main page of the start where you get to have to put in all of the information in the database. Maybe.
Oh, right. Yep.
It should have had like a red square with a white diamond in the top left-hand corner.
No, did I leave it out? I think I ended up shutting it when you said, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
I think I closed it.
It's probably given you the free version, so just check. Make sure you haven't signed up.
Yeah, it said it's the free version, yes.
But it's
Definitely.
only like a 7-day thing. It won't be, it's a paid thing. I have to pay for it.
No, well, normally when it does that, it asks to put your account in or how you're going to pay, and it didn't do that.
It's not linked to your Google or Google Pay or anything like that. Just be careful, because I have to pay for this.
I'll double check it and unsubscribe anyway.
But while you got the free one, you can put in some questions if you want. If you can work out, you just basically click on the chat. Oh, no.
Yeah, but it's asking me to connect my YouTube account.
Yeah, nah. and you won't have all the information that I've put into it to ask the questions. All right, forget it. It's my brain. All right.
It should let me in though.
Yeah, but you'll have a blank database. You won't have all the stuff that I've uploaded.
No, I mean no, I'm not talking about that now. I'm saying the chat. It's not letting me come in. It says I've got to go to my YouTube account, which
Chat on what?
I'm sorry.
StreamYard?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's bizarre.
It is a bit.
Refresh your page. Refresh your StreamYard. And I'll log you back.
Oh,
when you pop back in, I'll put you back up on stage.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to see what the settings are. Manage what you sync.
You could see the chat before, couldn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a podcast, not a.
No, it's still it's labelled a podcast. It's still a normal stream. It's just a different studio.
Can I do the private chat?
Yeah, you should be able to. And then the comments.
I can do the private chat.
Well, then, can you not see style, media, banners, comments above that private chat menu?
No. Oh, because I'm not streaming this to my audience.
Yeah. Oh, you're a guest.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm not going to be now. I'm streaming it to my audience.
Oh, bugger, I didn't think of that. Can I add it? Yes, I think I can. There you go. Did that work? Yes. Now it should be on yours as well. You'll have to refresh your page, your channel page, to see the thumbnail up there. Oh, she's gone. That'll be refreshing. There she is.
There.
So you can see it all now.
Yeah.
And it's on your...
Hang on, no.
Is it on your channel? Because it's showing it is on here.
Oh, it's telling me it is there.
Have you opened up the menu on the right-hand side? Because you got to open it up.
Oh, that could be why.
Here you go. Where's Elizabeth when you need her? Poof, she's gone. Come back. Baby, come back. Excuse me.
No, I'm still not there.
In StreamYard?
Says I am.
Did you log into the actual podcast studio, or did you just come into StreamYard as after the fact?
I'm not sure.
What does it say at the very top? Podcast studio for Karen Reid trial, or does it say something else?
No, it says the link you gave me.
Right.
So hang on. No, that doesn't work either. If I
The link was for a guest, so
yeah, the link was for a guest.
yeah, so you might have to go right back out and come back in. Oh. Nothing we can't do here. Right, so basically doing what he's done, he eliminates all the credibility issues, the relationship issues, and gives the Yep. um, it refocuses the case. It shifts the problematic timeline testimony, and it presents a clearer, more coherent narrative without all of the internal bullshit, basically. Cleans it up. Okay. Now, the impact on the third-party culprit defence, it removes the impeachable witnesses whose credibility support that cover-up narrative. It counters the police bias narrative because Trooper Proctor and his family connections don't get brought in. The medical experts that provides this, they could provide stronger testimony linking injuries specifically to vehicular impact rather than what Irene Squadabello said, being inconclusive. The forensic specialists could offer more definitive analysis of the taillight fragments and their connection to Reed's vehicle. Like I said, they could bring in anyone to explain anything. Accident reconstruction experts can then present more compelling visual demonstrations of the prosecution's theory. So at the end of the day, they've created their perfect world because the facts, the lack of evidence. Yes, there were taillight fragments found eventually in that spot, but that doesn't conclusively put the two together. There was no DNA on them. It's like saying, all right, I was actually comparing this to Ty's case. I'll take this off for a minute. My throat. I feel like I've been talking all week, and I think my throat is not particularly happy with me. Like, if you look at Ty, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Happened to be walking down the street and got caught being with Rory Wilson to recharge his phone. And from there, it went to a Facebook post, picture, and it snowballed from there. And that's exactly how I think this has happened. They've gotten together. Once everyone's at the hospital, the family have met back at the Alberts, and Jen McCabe's gone, well, Karen was saying this, that, and the other, and they've come up with, all right, how do we do this? Basically. And it's snowballed from there. Because, no DNA evidence whatsoever. None of the taillight fragments. And, was it 18 to 20 days later they're finding fragments? Like, really? Impact of key witnesses' absence on the jury decision making. All right. Let me have a drink. Oh, that's good. Icy cold. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask it. I wanted to ask it if it noted any particular strategic placement of witnesses, because I can't seem to find a I thought it was chronological, but not like the order in which Hank has chosen witness testimony. My stupid arm. Stupid fingers. Not working today. It hurt. Ow. Ow. Strategic witness placement or selection testimony. I'll answer that one next time. So, the jurors won't receive any direct more testimony from people that were actually present at 34 Fairview that night, apart from I think maybe they call Ali McCabe, I'm not sure. The emotional impact of hearing directly from those who discovered John O'Keefe's body would be lost. The fragmented timeline, critical sequence details. Well, see, I don't know how that changes because they'd have to be able to still bring in stuff that happened. I don't think they're calling Matt McCabe either. Jurors naturally question why people central to the events aren't testifying, but then they don't know who's central and who's not. If they're not mentioned, then they don't know what they don't know, do they? So that really doesn't help. So the positive impacts for the prosecution, it's a cleaner narrative without any contradictory accounts, and the jurors receive a more streamlined, consistent prosecution story. Oop, oop. Hello?
Okay, so I'm getting it right now. For the record podcast.
It should just be a drop-down box, I think, from the top, maybe.
Yeah, I had to, for some reason, I had to reconnect my account.
If they could just put out an all points bulletin for Chloe. Do you know what, Tricia? We were talking about this the other day. Like that doesn't even necessarily have to be Chloe. Like I was talking to Briar behind the scenes when he came on the other day, and he said something about, was it raccoons or some other animal over there? He said, that could have attacked and grabbed his arm, after
Bear.
they had put. Nah, bear would have done heaps more damage than that. But like, you know what I mean? That there could have been an animal that's come out whilst he's laying there before he got found to try and drag him, and couldn't obviously move him.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Fair
it
enough.
doesn't necessarily have to be that it was Chloe. Yeah, it could have been anything.
Exactly right.
I don't know what native animals you've got over there that would do that, but yeah, it could have been anyone or anything. So.
Oh, I can comment. Got it.
You dipshit.
There we go. Actually, I'm going to pull my computer apart again. Or put somebody else's hard drive in it.
Yeah, no. Oh, so if I share the screen, can you see it? Can you read it?
Yes, I can read that.
Because my throat is killing me. Real bad.
Oh, you want me to read it out?
I'm struggling.
So do you want me to start at the prosecution versus defense advantages?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay. So let's look at the prosecution. Mr. Brancanen, the only non-advantage to him, I suppose, is himself. Now, credibility shelter shields problematic witnesses from devastating cross-examination. Well, that's true if they're not going to bring all these other turkeys in, isn't it? Narrative control allows prosecution to present case without internal contradictions. Well, that's right, because, these people aren't going to say no comment, the prosecution's witnesses, are they? Or they're not going to say, oh, but no, well, yeah, but no.
Yeah,
What's Dr. Phil say? As soon as you say, but But I used to, when people say but to me, I say, yeah, but nah, but two Polish brothers. But anyway, so that's where they're not going to do that to him. They're going to actually answer his questions. Haven't you heard that before?
I'm having drugs. Hang on.
Oh, cool. I'm going to have peanut butter cups since I bought 45 packets of these today at $1.25 each. I thought that was very cheap.
I'm taking
Well, that's what chocolate is, isn't it? Anyway, chocolate. Oh, that way. So focus on physical evidence. The centers. Oh, that's spelt the American way, not our way. Case on tail light fragments, vehicle damage, and forensic findings. But if you took the Trooper Paul last year, he only got hit in the arm, and then it spun him around and threw him 30 feet. But I mean, these tail light fragments weren't. Well, it doesn't get made a fool of again.
That's what I'm saying. His testimony doesn't come in. It doesn't get.
Yes. Doesn't get made a fool of. And that's.
It looks like
He doesn't need to look like one. He is one.
Yeah. They bring in their own.
Yeah, but I mean, there's got to be more evidence. You know, like, there's so many places she would have passed that would have shown that damn car light was there.
There
You know what I mean?
blood on every one of those fragments.
Oh, or DNA or something, yeah. And I'd like to see an arm have that kind of scratches on it. You know, that's what they were saying, is it the tail light scratched all his arm.
There was no holes in his shirt either.
No, but
Where
there
the tail
was
light
crushed up tail light dust, remember? Because, but did you notice Buchanan or Bukaki, whatever you want to call him, and I've still got to look that up because I don't know what it means.
Last night. Oh, you know. I can't believe I know something that you don't know. That's rude. Oh, you're going to have to Google that now, Tanya, and I want to see your reaction to it, because that's going to be gold. I can't believe you don't know what Mikaki is.
Gosh, well, what language is that supposed to be?
In Australian. I'm gonna have
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I've got to see your reaction when you...
Oh, okay, I've got to Google it now, have I? Okay.
And go for the images. After the facts reacts.
So how do you spell it?
B-U-K-A-K-E.
Oh, okay. No, you didn't want to tell me.
Yep.
That's a bit like soggy sail, except with a female.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You might come out with pink eye.
I think it'd be different.
You just Google it too, Teresia. I can't believe no one knew what that was.
So, what language is this from? I want to see what language is it from. I'm going to go further into this. It's from Japan. There you go. I knew it wasn't Aussie. I would have known it if it was
Where did
Aussie.
the steamer come from then?
Where did what?
The Cleveland steamer.
I don't know what that is either.
Well, Google that.
Oh my God, there's pictures on Wikipedia. Oh my God. Oh.
Don't point anything.
I'm not scrolling down on that one. Chicago steamer.
No, Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland, sorry. The other night when I said the new Pope was from Chicago, you said that was rubbish. And I said,
No, I'm like, what do you mean there's been a new Pope born in Chicago? How can the Pope be born in Chicago?
it was.
What? How is he a new Pope?
Oh, Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't look that one up, Teresia. Just don't. Please, and you don't go in any deeper on all of that. Yeah, the pictures weren't what I expected. I'm not clicking into that one. I do not want to see the pictures.
Nuh-uh. Where's Elizabeth? She was so
You
funny.
learn this stuff.
Oh, truth, you just look too late. I warned you.
Oh, that's just gross.
Elizabeth had a particularly good weekend last weekend, and every time she came in chat, she's like, "Hi, how was your weekend?" And they'd go, "Yeah, good, thanks." And no one would ask her. She's like, "Someone asked me." Because she told me all about it on Facebook.
Oh, that's classic.
I got to clear my browser up.
Clear your browsing history so you don't get in trouble.
Teresia does, yeah.
I'm having.
I didn't ask Elizabeth. Yeah. Yeah. She'd know what it means, though, for sure.
Would she?
For sure. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. All right.
Oh my lord!
Right.
Where do you learn this stuff?
That bit. So when I got to that, the verdict impact, or the impact on the verdict that this could have, was that the new expert testimony is going to be exceptionally compelling. The physical evidence chain, the strategy likely that increases the probability of conviction if new expert testimony is exceptionally compelling. Well, I'm sure Hank will have experts that are exceptionally compelling. The physical evidence chain is unimpeachable. That's his biggest issue right there. But there isn't a great deal of evidence because they didn't fucking look for any. So
yeah, well, they're not going to find evidence if they don't look for it.
And the defence cannot effectively highlight the missing witness issues. The strategy likely to increase the probability of acquittal if the defence strategy frames witness absences as prosecutional weakness. The jury perceives the witness absences as an attempt to hide unfavourable testimony. Mm-hmm. That's what they're
That's interesting.
On. So this is the way that I'm looking at how I'm trying to find, as I'm watching it, that sort of strategy. Do you know what I mean? As I'm looking at the trial, I'm trying to see how they're going to change, because they have to change their whole strategy to cover for these new experts and the new, like, do you know what I mean? They've got to completely go over it all. The jury perceives that the witness absence, I've said that bit. The replacement experts appear less credible than the first-hand witnesses would have been. Trooper Paul, not likely. The removal of the deeply flawed but central witnesses represents a calculated risk that fundamentally transforms how jurors would process and deliberate, potentially trading damaging testimony for a more sterile but potentially less complete narrative. So that was their summing up of how that would affect. And then I did whole defense. How would they approach their strategy? I'll print these off and I'll save them on Discord so you can have a read of them, because there's so much information. And can't go through it all. It's just, I haven't even got to the Jennifer McCabe and Kerry Roberts bit yet. Yeah. The defense strategies for introducing. How I then asked it how it would get in Proctor's tests. I will link all that up, and I'll share it. I promise. I'll put it in the description or somewhere. I'll find it. Then the advantages. Oh, then I asked it what would be the pros and cons of her testifying in this second trial. Now, I haven't read this bit because I just sort of questioned it and moved along. So you can go from there if you like. Oh, my throat. Oh, I have to share the screen first. Spastic elastic.
You did take it off.
Oh.
Okay, so where are we up to?
Advantages and disadvantages. I asked it what would
Oh,
be
right, of Karen retestifying.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
Hmm.
Yeah, so she'll establish her own version of events. So, you know.
Mind you, she's pretty much testified anyway, hasn't she? With
Well, that's what I was going to say on this TV program, in which she's now showing all the clips of it, which I think actually he's not going to get the response that he expected out of that, to tell you the truth.
Not hitting home.
I think she's coming off better than what he thought she would in that. Anyway, and counters the prosecution timeline, can offer alternative explanations for critical time periods. That makes sense, yeah. Explains statements. She can clarify the text of "I hit him," but she's already done that, and they've televised that, like during this thing, during the trial, and she actually said, "I said, did I?" Yeah. So
Chinese whispers.
Yeah, well, that's it. We all know that. It does humanise her story, transforms her, the defendant, to a person.
Which is what I think is happening with him inserting those clips.
Yeah, that's again what you're right.
It's against what he is anticipated.
Yeah. And also, too, like if Proctor gets in with his little text messages about... Because did Buchanan read the nasty ones out?
He only read Higgins's. Nothing to do with Proctor.
Oh, right, okay. So, I mean, if Proctor reads them out again, that certainly makes her more human as well, you know what I mean? And hang on, this is wrong, and makes it more like it has been a cover-up if we hear his little text messages. Mr. Proctor now, not Trooper Proctor anymore. Yes.
But he has to be called by the defence.
I know.
And he can plead the fifth. So he doesn't have to. But someone else can read those in.
Because they were in the last trial. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty weird, isn't it, though? Like the whole new trial, but yet if it was in the last trial, we can just read it out. It's fine. But they're not supposed to know there was a previous trial? Which most of the police witnesses have brought in and said, "Oh, in the previous trial, I justified this." And go, hang on, I thought you weren't supposed to say that.
Yep.
So they weren't prepped well.
Someone else, Andrea Burkhart, said something about opening the door. No, it was Nurse Kim. She's hysterical. Nurse Kim has evolved. I watched her way back at the start before the first trial, and it was Turtle Boy was in with Sean McDonough, who was an ex-DEA agent, retired. Okay, so he had contacts still in, they were in the same area, the Massachusetts area. He knew a lot of these people, and had higher contacts as well. He was a supervisory DEA agent, so he reached out to some of his contacts and got information and fed it to Turtle Boy, who then investigations and blah blah blah. So they sort of rose together, but he had this chick on called Nurse Kim, and she was going through the medical examiner's report. She'd gotten hold of it before the trial, and was explaining to everyone about John's injuries and how, as I said, it was a contre coup injury, how it's completely different to what a punch-up would. Like he's bloke's been hit in the face before, punched in the face. They don't. The eyelids don't.
No, doesn't.
They split the brow and they get the big puffy under the eye. This is all from internal. So she explained and went through how that happened, and she's now got her own channel, and she is just. I got onto Twitter last night to check something. I can't remember what it was, to see if I got a message or something like that. And she had made a comment. I actually put it up on the screen on the stream at the end of the stream last night because it was so funny the way that she had answered this chick.
Did you say? Come on.
Oh God! You keep reading and I'll find it and I'll bring it up.
Okay. The credibility factors. It allows jury assessment so the jurors can, see whether she's sincere or not sincere or what they think of her demeanour, her believability. But again, I think by the prosecution showing all these lovely little videos of her, what's a little movie? It's called two different things too. Did you notice that movie? And I think we're getting it in a different name. A man, what is it? A dead man in the snow or something like that? A body in the snow. Yeah. And I think, with the stuff he's showing from interviews and bits and pieces out of that movie or teleseries you had, I think that's already allowing the jury assessment because he's not showing her yelling and screaming and going crazy like she evidently was on the morning, which that was a nice piece of evidence too when what's her name, Katie McLaughlin was testifying the other day. How she's running around going crazy like this. But then they're showing a video saying, well, which one are you in the video? You're that one, Katie. Well, who's the person gesticulating next to you? Oh, that was Jen McCabe talking to her. Well, and who's the other person standing over there that's just nice and silent looking around? That's the defendant.
I did have to laugh where Jackson said something about, do you not understand the question? And Yuri's gone like, no, I don't understand that. It was some word.
What was that word that he said? Colloquialism or colloquial. And he said,
it's like
I don't know what that word means.
Language or something.
Third language.
And Jackson just annihilated him. It was funny as.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I was proctor supervisor, so I was the lead investigator. No, we all investigate together, and I can't remember who I gave the evidence to. Oh my gosh, they're idiots. It demonstrates her confidence, but willingness to face scrutiny. I just don't think I'd like to see her go up against Hank Brennan, to tell you the truth. I just don't. Yeah, I mean, if it was Larry or someone, let's go. But yeah, I just think Brennan's too much of an a-hole to I think he's going to twist everything she says, and I don't think it'd be good for her. So yeah, showcases intelligence. Yes, I mean, she is a university professor, and she is very intelligent actually. But I don't think they need to know that either. Because that actually came out in those text messages with Higgins. Did you see that? He asked her what she did. And she said, I'm a university professor. So they already know she's a pretty smart cookie. So there you go. In those text messages with Higgins.
Oh.
That they read out. Yeah. He asked her what she did for a living. And she said, I'm a university professor. So there you go. Which she is. So that's all cool.
Here we go. Did Yuri open the door with specifically mentioning investigate? Because that's right. He said in his thing that, they investigate this and that, and especially suicides by hanging. Do you remember that? Now, that was a direct reference to Sandra Birchmore, and they were given a strict where they weren't
not allowed to talk about her. I'm sorry, I don't know who Sandra Birchmore is.
Sandra Birchmore is another poor. She was involved with a police officer in, I think it was Canton or Boston or somewhere, and she fell pregnant to this guy. To this police officer.
To the copper, and she was 15 years old or something. Is that one? Yeah, yes.
Proctor was the investigative
Oh, get out of here.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
So they were told that none of that could be brought in at all. So Nurse Kim was saying that, well, by saying that, he's opened
He could have brought that in. Yeah, that's the
and to go
door.
through. So if so, Nurse Kim said, I look forward to AJ busting through that.
Kicking his way in the door. Let's kick our way through this one. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so that's very interesting.
It's all tied in.
Didn't know.
And there's also there's another case that Proctor was in, Brian Walsh, that they weren't allowed to bring in any of that information either.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that. But yeah.
All linked.
So, and they're saying it establishes her character. So, creates opportunity to present her background, career, and relationship history. Don't know, there could be some big dark spiders in that relationship history. You just don't know. I don't know, unless Hank Brennan's asked her for every single relationship since she was 14, you know, like, because there could be some nasty spiders in that cupboard. You don't know.
Off of Karen.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For anybody, you know, there's always that one creep you dated that's going to come out of the woodwork, isn't there? You know, like, I could probably name 3 that I've dated. So, yeah, you probably don't want that in.
You want me to scroll up? So,
yeah, that'd be really good. Okay. Evidentiary advantages. They can introduce stuff that might otherwise be inadmissible. And I suppose that could open the door to some things that we mightn't be able to get in otherwise. But I think Jackson's pretty good at getting stuff in, you know. Enhances third-party culprit theory. Yeah, well, definitely. That would help. But let's just see how he goes with introducing that anyway first before they make that decision. I mean, I think that her to testify is always a decision that is made at the last minute, isn't it? Because they're going to testify last. And, yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe you might have to think about that. If he can't get it in any other way, he might have to. But tell me, on cross-examination, can they only ask questions about what has been on direct or not? So, like, if Alan Jackson kept the scope of his direct pretty narrow, then therefore the prosecution, can't on.
Correct.
Okay. They can't bring in other crap or anything like that unless they open the door for it.
More leading questions on
direct.
On cross.
On cross. Oh, okay. So more open-ended questions and stuff like that than you can, yeah. Because on direct, you're only wanting to get out a certain amount of information. You're not trying to get out stuff that you don't want them to know.
You just want to build your foundation more than anything, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And she can explain the vehicle damage. Well, I think that's already been done on the TV program, hasn't it? And the snow. The other guy that picked up the car, he didn't lie. He said that it wasn't broken. He's already testified. What's his name? That policeman or whatever he is. He said it wasn't fully smashed. And all the rest of them are saying it was. Like, you know, and there's only one poor little cop that says, and Ryan Nagel. Oh, no, he didn't say it because he was there before. Yes. Well, yeah. So, I mean, but there is that one guy that said, no, it isn't smashed. It wasn't smashed. It was only a crack. So I don't know there either. Is that a good thing? I mean, because this bullshit that, you know, I had my arm out and the car hit it and I've got no broken arm and, you know, no bruising. It's just these funny scratches that, you know, go watch that K9 one that you're onto as well that Melanie Little had on. I was actually watching his stream, his thing, not hers. So when I found it, yeah. And with his little rubber arms and stuff, and then all the pictures he had of, like,
was it?
Yeah, it was him. He was actually doing a stream and said, "Oh, you know, I got involved in this, so I'd never even heard of the case, and blah blah blah." And he said, and then Melanie Little got onto me, and and he said it was really fun. He said, now I've done some more investigating, and he had more pictures. He had hundreds and hundreds of pictures of because when they teach police dogs, they teach them to actually bite and hold, right? Whereas that means there would only be puncture marks. He said, and not even many good police dogs do that. He said it's very hard to train a dog. They should have bull terriers. They bite and hold, I guarantee you. I've had a few of them in my life, my beautiful bull terriers. But yeah, most dogs don't bite and hold. They just bite with the front teeth and keep grabbing, say like this. And that's why you get and you'll get little puncture marks, but you won't get the big ones like when the dog actually grabs and holds. So he actually showed some photos of, well, these ones here are, this is one of our very good police dogs, and this is actually the damage to that bad person's arm. And you can see that.
Hold.
Yeah, he said you can see it's just full on punches, mate. And that dog must have big teeth because they were big punches. But there wasn't a lot of scratching. And he said, now this is our other dogs. He said, and you'll see, they're exactly the same. He said there mightn't be as many because they do hold eventually. You know what I mean? Like when the trainer is saying to him, keep going, He said, but look, 99% of dogs just do it exactly like that. And he even mentioned Dr. Mari Russell. He said he knew of her and, that she'd written 2 papers and all this kind of stuff that, So it's quite interesting actually watching his. And it wasn't bad eye candy either, actually. So where we're up to, okay, so that was alternative explanation of fatal damage. Yeah, I don't see, a hammer is one option, isn't it? But she's not going to be able to say that either, is she? She's going to be able to say it was only crack, but she's not going to be able to say how it was actually damaged because she doesn't know. So will that really neutralise that evidence? I don't know. So our strategic benefits satisfies jury expectations. They expect that innocent defendants testify. I don't know. I've seen some guilty ones testify too. I mean, who was that? Pro se chick, Sarah Boone.
Ah, yes.
And then who was that other guy that killed the reporter? And he's walking down the street in the wig and the orange hat, and he thought that was good disguise. Who was him?
Killed who?
He killed a reporter, and he testified, and it was just like a big narrative. I don't know his name.
My brain's gone.
Yeah, so's mine. Telly, yes, it was Telly. Telly, Teresa, good girl. God, she's onto it. Yes, Robert Telly.
I didn't watch that one.
Oh, didn't you? Okay, I must have watched a bit of that one, I'm sure, because it was it was funny when he dressed up in a dress and an orange hat to go and kill him or something. No, that's not me. I mean, you could tell dead spit it was, man. It was so funny. There we go. So yeah, them pro se people. Oh, pro se is obviously stupid. But it was a good trial, Teresa. You are right, 100%. He testified on his own behalf, and it was just bullshit. Yeah, he was a real estate agent. She was gonna dob them in for some. This reporter was doing a story that was dobbing them in for some illegal things that they were doing with the real estate industry or something. Yeah, it was quite interesting. So cross-examination risk, yeah, that's right. A skilled prosecutioner there, or not prosecutioner. No, that's executioner, isn't it? They're going to face intense scrutiny, and he's going to try and twist every word of her around. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't think. As I said, if it was the last trial, and yeah, I don't think it would have been as high a risk. But certainly this one, I think it's a higher risk. Prior statements, vulnerability, any inconsistencies with previous statements will be highlighted. What previous statements has she made?
Oh, all the stuff that she's...
On telly and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, the alcohol consumption focus. Well, I don't know. I mean, what they're saying, she had so many vodka sodas. She didn't even drink the last one because that's the one John threw or did whatever with. I don't think he threw it at the car, to tell you the truth.
Well,
Cause,
that's what Arca designed the cannon for, because that's what they thought could have caused the taillight to damage by a man throwing a glass at it. So they created this cannon, and they were able to.
and he said his job was fun. Yeah, I remember that.
They were able to establish the speed and the strength with the propellant to get
Mhm.
to reconstruct what it would be as a male throwing that at a taillight, and what they could reconstruct that, and it showed the exact result, basically, of what
Oh, right.
damage was to the taillight. That's what I mean.
Yeah, well,
It all.
it was funny when he was doing that. I said, oh, that sounded just like our orange guns we used to make. You know, you get a bit of PVC pipe
Yep.
and orange or potato gun, you know.
Yep. Piezo ignition.
We used to, the factory across the road from us, we used to put oranges in them because potatoes, they do a fair bit of damage. So we found out. And we used to have a competition with them across the road who could buy the oranges the fastest or actually get someone. So that was a lot of fun.
You put the piezo ignition thing in the end, the clicker.
We've got the barbecue ignition. So you put your orange in, right, this end, and you leave about a gap, you know, this far. And you get your end cap, and it's got a barbecue ignition in it. And you get the lighter fluid. You get the lighter fluid and squirt it in, turn it back on, and go bang, and off she goes. It's really good. So that's where, yeah, his job would be a lot of fun. A bit like Mythbusters, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so relationship history exposure. Now, that's interesting.
Yeah.
As I said previous, you know, the conflicts with John O'Keefe could be explored a bit more. Because I think one of their issues was probably him leaving her to look after the kids so much too, you know.
Well, but they were saying that a lot of it was they were fighting over him saying, you know, you're being too, you're spoiling them too much.
Yeah, because she bought the girl a cashmere jumper or something, you know. I mean, gosh, buying a kid a special jumper like that, and they learn how to look after really good things then, you know.
Poor kids lost both their fucking parents, for Christ's sake. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, as long as she's not buying her bloody Valium or
buying a... yeah, that's right, or drugs or something like that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I don't know. Did she get on with his mother or not? Like,
I don't
from the get go. You don't believe so? Okay.
I don't think anyone was good enough for her, Johnny.
Oh,
and
okay.
There was a lot of issues between Karen and Peggy. And that was one of the reasons why, when she went back to Meadows that afternoon after she'd been discharged from the hospital, she was met, because all the family was there. She was met with
disdain, basically.
Unwelcome arms. And she goes to explain that, you know, she's walked into this home that she had 6 hours beforehand presumed part of her home that she was living in.
Yes, that she lived there, yeah.
She is no longer, she's walked into a stranger's home, and she was totally like thrown because of, you know, she didn't, it was completely different. And she went upstairs and just got what she had to get of her stuff and left. Then that's why she didn't stay. And so they have then evolved with
put
that.
Connotations to that, yeah, because blah blah blah, yeah.
Like she was cold-hearted and all the rest of it, but they did not make her feel welcome. And I think Peggy blamed her from the very start, because
well, we know that Kerry got to her within 30 seconds of it all happening, don't we? And
also she said to Karen, you know, what happened, and she said, well, I dropped him at a party.
Oh yeah,
and
you left him there.
Yeah, he's
a grown-ass man. He can do what he likes.
That's the response you get from that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So basically, I don't think it's a good idea that she testifies at the end of the day.
No, I don't think it is either. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, I found that thing on Nurse Kim. I went to on her X and I couldn't find it, but I actually have just brought up my stream where I show it. So
Oh, okay.
I will add that and you can watch. Share screen. Oh fuck yeah. Where is it? That one. I'm sharing myself. Woo, this is bizarre.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's pretty creepy.
It is, isn't it?
What is it they say when you time travel that you shouldn't do that?
That's weird. Sidebar. So this is Nurse Kim.
Sidebar. Can hardly hear that.
Hang on, I'll boost it. So this Jamie chick says, Nurse Kim making fun of Jessica Hyde and laughing at the Jabba the Hutt comments when she looks like this and has a fupa. What the hell is a fupa?
Oh gosh, we've got to Google again.
No.
What?
Someone tells me. No idea. Response help. This is Nurse Kim's response to that. So someone was picking on her on X, right? Get rid of that one. Sent image file.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can tell my neck's not very good, can't you? I feel like I'm a turtle. The response is shoot.
Okay, hey Jamie, you must be mistaken.
No, I read it out.
When did I make...
You must be mistaken. When did I?
Oh, you do.
Jessica Hyde. What Jabba the Hutt comments? I sure do look like that. You realise I posted the pic, right? And I 100% have a fupa. Most women who have carried multiple children to term have a little cooch. Okay. Wait for it. So does anyone enlighten me on what a fupa is? Now you posted this at 3 a.m. on a weekday. I'm sure it's not because you're an unemployed or thing who doesn't have custody of your children and wears massive ill-fitting dentures because of the years you spent jaw swinging and sucking dick in dark bathrooms. But when you post mean shit for no reason, it may be plausible. Why don't you post a current unfiltered pic of you, full body, as an example of what I should look like? Now, this is Nurse Kim. Yeah, I thought that was amusing, sorry. Yeah, I had to. And I do believe, shit, hang on, we may be. So then I went on to her stream and she was doing a recap of Yuri Buchanan.
Maybe none of us ever know. Who is he? Where is he? Brother Buchneck. Oh.
Yeah, you said your work.
Hi. Oh, Bupsy says the weird display on the jeans actually emphasizes the torn
love her
pocket
voice.
of OJ Okay's jeans. Yes. Oh. And Armor of Alessi calls out what needs to be said. It took me less than 10 minutes to brush my teeth. Oh, the FBI wasn't at my door, babe. So you know. And hello, Tina Lucille. We're ready for the ride. It's going to be bumpy, Catherine Dinwiddle. And we're ready. We're ready. All bumps ahead. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle. This is going to be a wild one. I've taken notes. I'm going to have us at timestamps that none of us knew were possible. Okay. What is happening? Is she? Oh, We don't know. Who is she? Where is she? I don't even know. Oh, how do you
It says,
forget you
"Oh,"
called
a
3
lot.
people? I
Oh,
love this.
oh.
You know, it's my girl. And Shirley says she is blacked out. And Loveromi with Cheese says YB was annoying AF today. I feel like he had a lot of things that he was hiding right under those navy blue sleeves. Okay. I wore a contrast color, a primary, if you will, just to defeat, the dark energy, the dark forces that I believe reside within Norfolk County DA's office and may look like him. I don't know. Okay. So, this is what CM Laval says. He was lying. He was. I think we've got a couple of points that we're going to say, yeah, we're going to call him out right on it. So, without further ado, lovies,
Love it.
let us go through
Love
the
it.
highlight reel of Commonwealth v. Karen Reed, day 12 of the retrial. And this is Sergeant Buchanan on direct, and then across that he gets a hair across his ass about. Okay, that's it. Stop it. You keep your day job, Kim. And we're going, okay. So I don't want to go through like the background, right? So Hank Brennan gets up there, and I will give him this. Okay. Hank Brennan and his petty paralegal have been working overtime. They are leaving no prisoners here, babes. They have no one to blame but themselves for what is happening and the aggressive writing that she does on her legal pad. Okay. I've seen it.
The aggressive writing.
That we all see it together. But he starts off humanizing Yuri, making him just the American dream. Genius, evil genius, but genius. So you're going to say, oh, you're not just a men in navy blue because you're not a men in black, because Will Smith
Is
would
it start of
never.
this?
Tommy Lee Jones would never. J and K, stop it. I'm NK. Get out of here. So he starts off and says that he was born in Ukraine and that he immigrated
you
to
said
the
that.
United States of America at age of 9. He went to public school. Oh, so relatable. Salute.
Surely they would have done a better
for
job.
this one.
Cracks
Okay.
a GNC for this one. Right.
And then he went to the Marines, and this is where I'm sure my father, if Mick's watching, he was like, "Oh, I like him." Okay, and I go, "No, Dad, no." Well, he's a Marine. He's a Marine, and he went. It was after 2001, and he basically said he was going to avenge 9/11. That's what him and his 9 best friends from
really?
high school. Chippy Proctor
Oh,
has his
crap.
9 best friends from first grade that he sends fucked up texts to. And then Buchanan gets to get up and say, hey, I saved you. You're welcome. Okay, I was the one who took out Osama bin Laden. That's what he tried to tell me that. And I was like, oh, you think you're heroing. You're heroing. And I appreciate it too. So that offends me. Ugh. Anywho, after that, he's got top secret clearance. He's like, I'm going to protect and serve. Who? Yourself. Who? People you like. What about Karen? Nope. What about Kim? Nope. Okay. And he was like in helicopter duty. So he helped the president and he was like on a detail. So he would do like presidential helicopters. And he was honorably discharged in 2006. Then he boops over to the VA hospital police. Then he goes to Attleboro, and then he's in the SWAT team. And then in May of 2015, which is approximately 10 years ago, a decade in service. Oh. He has been at the Norfolk DA's homicide unit. There is a total of 6 homicide troopers. Used to be 7. There was 7 until Trooper Chippy P found himself to Mr. P. Made choices. And we're going to start here at 27 minutes. Are you ready? Clutch your pearls. Ooh. Hold, please. I'm going to find my pearls. And we're going to clutch ours and clench our butts. Let's go, babes. Day 12.
many of the deaths that you investigate not homicides?
Primarily, the death investigations are not homicides.
When you walk into a call, do you have a preconceived notion whether it's a homicide or not a homicide?
When we walk into a call, we take in all the evidence, so we do not know exactly what we're going to have as a finding. We follow the evidence, we follow the information that we're provided, that we learned throughout the investigation. At times, it's obvious there was a homicide when the local agency that's reporting the death says that there was a shooting reported and there's a deceased person at the scene. So yes, we will know that it's most likely a homicide, but we don't make a preconceived notion or determination before we get there.
Really?
You said there are no cases that go through your office. Do you work investigations by yourself?
Never, no.
Are investigations assigned to the group as a whole, or is a particular trooper in the unit?
We have case officers, and the assignment of the responsibility when you will most likely be a case officer is scheduled a month or so in advance. So each trooper has a responsiability of a 24-hour period that they are on call. They respond to the scenes, whether it be a train strike versus pedestrians or a vehicle or a suicide by hanging. They respond, and then if they need assistance or they think that there's something more.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay. I'm sorry. What in the actual fuck did you just say right there? Trooper Yuri Buchanan?
Got
All right.
on.
Did you say you guys go out, you have your 24-hour shift, and then sometimes, someone will be unalived by a train, by an automobile, a pedestrian strike, or a suicide by hanging? Shame on you. You absolute fuck. Because, let us turn back the hands of time. When was the last time, Yuri, that you were, or your office was in charge of a suicide, an alleged suicide by hanging, which is now charged as a homicide by former disgraced Stoughton police officer, Matthew Farwell? Hold, please. So what do? I go back, I turn back the hands of time, and I say, this feels gross, but we're going to pull it up. Show it. Okay. Nope. Lied. Not the right one. Boom. Show this one. On May 6th, which was approximately 48 hours ago, it feels like 37 dog years. But Judge Beverly Cannoni denied the motion. Now I have to pull it up because I can't see it. I can't see it. Hold on. You guys zoom it, okay? And I'm just going to pull it up and read the part that is imperative for what we're talking about. Okay. So the Commonwealth moves to prohibit disclosure or reference to any investigations and conducted by the Canton Police Department, Canton Fire, Massachusetts State Police, Norfolk DA's office, U.S. Attorney's Office, and or Federal Bureau of Investigation into the death of Sandra Birchmore. The circumstances surrounding the February 2021 death of Miss Birchmore are not related or material in the death of John O'Keefe. Evidence is relevant if it has a, quote, rational tendency to prove an issue of a case. Oh. So then she says evidence must have the tendency to prove or disprove a fact. And 2, the fact must be material in this case. Well, I got a question for you. Judge Cannoni, did we just crack this door wide open? Did we bust it open like a pistachio? I don't know, but it felt like that. Because you're mentioning what your office does. And you had the balls when you didn't need to. You could have been incredibly general. His answers today, guys. Oh, I'm going to get worked up again. It's happening. I'm delusional. Oh, did he just open the door? Cheryl, woohoo. I put out an SOS to who? Not David Yannetti, my bowl of spaghetti, because he was busy. He was busy at court all day. But I threw it out on the X to attorney Mr. Mark Betterow. And I said, hi, Mr. Betterow.
Actually, I think I found
Did he open the door here? And how it would be relevant in my brain. All right. Remember, she's a nurse, not a lawyer. But in my brain, by him talking about specific investigations and how we would, as the Norfolk DA's Mass State Police Troop of fucking 6, this is what we respond to. And the case that he is referring to, because if we did a little bit of a voir dire here, if we proffered on this, I would guarantee that in the last 10 years, I would be willing to put $500 on it. I don't have it, but let's say
Num dum.
$20 that there would be no other suicide by hanging that he specifically or the Norfolk DA's office had taken over. Yes, unfortunately, there's overdoses. Yes, I know that they have had so many, other tragic instances of unattended deaths. But that was real sleazy. And you brought it up when you could have said suicides, homicides, elderly people that die, but no one's there. It's an unattended death. You know what? It's not, Hank Brennan, an unintended death, because you said it 14 times when you were talking to Gallagher and he didn't frickin' change your mind or correct you. And then he started saying unintended deaths. I cannot. But I am just waiting for confirmation, lovies, because in my brain, if what cracked the door open last year for the discussion of witness intimidation by Turtle Boy was allowed in by dancing like nowhere near it, okay? It was on a different end zone, frickin' David Yannetti was at the time. And Judge Cannoni allowed it in. And I mean, if you roll back the transcript, it would be to prove a material fact that sometimes, as Loveromi with cheese said to me, your office gets it wrong. Oh, there have been other cases that your office has handled that you specifically brought up, Guy, and you were wrong. So what does Judge Cannoni's what does her little note at the top say? 5-6, she just ruled on it, like we said. And the most tiny Jesus be with me. Oh, we're spinning. We're spinning, not on the rings of Saturn. Hello? Are you here? Am I here? Oh, Christmas. Oh my gosh, by golly. It's time for mistletoe and holly. I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to try to move it again. Let's see. Maybe you just didn't like that part. You said, Kim, don't do that. Oh.
I just love how you said,
my God.
Do that morning?
That morning we did not. We're
back.
Had learned that there was a...
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I fell asleep to watching her last night. So yes. So yeah, check her out. She's good. She's Nurse Kim on, well, hang on. Should have her thingy on here. Clutch your pearls. She cracks me up. I didn't actually realize she had a YouTube channel. I thought she was just on X, but no, she's
I think I've looked at her at some time actually, but not on this trial, obviously. But yeah, certainly on
Real Nurse Kim on YouTube. So check her out. She's hysterical.
She is.
Yeah. All right. So
look at the mustache that she's got on that guy. No. Day 2 and 3 recap.
My screen, sorry. Go back to the boring shit. Anyway, I just thought we could, because it's 2 hours now. So what I will do is I put in here, if the jury was to be given the information, to be presented with the information they have as it stands right now, what would,
Oh, yes.
okay, using all the testimony
What do you think the jury would decide? Yeah.
at this point in the trial, all the evidence and the analytics, what do you think the jury would return with if asked for a verdict now? Okay, this is what it came up with. Analysis of potential jury verdict. The charges. Okay, so she faces 3 serious charges: 2nd-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence, and 3, leaving the scene of an accident after causing injury or death. So, the alleged statements by Karen Reid, multiple witnesses, including the firefighter Timothy Nuttall, claim Karen repeatedly said, "I hit him." The physical evidence, the prosecution points to
Yeah.
damage.
Timothy Nuttall, all it would have meant was somebody gave him a feel up and he would have said anything if that sort of jerk.
She was intoxicated, yes. The relationship.
But 0.08 is their limit there, and if it was done on serum and not blood,
Absolutely.
she might not have been over.
No. I do think she was drinking, but yeah. And look.
Oh, definitely.
She's got IBS as well, so she had absorption issues, so it could have been higher. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. And MS, I mean, that has a issue with blood feedings as well.
She
Anyway, sorry, I interrupted.
Hey?
I interrupted you.
Oh, that's all right. She was having issues with John, clearly. And yeah, so then the third-party culprit theory, the defence argues that O'Keefe actually went into Brian Albert's home and was fatally beaten. Now, I don't believe that at all.
No.
And then placed outside to die, with Karen being framed for the murder. The inconsistent witness testimony, the defence has highlighted significant inconsistencies in the key witness testimonies with Timothy Nuttall, Jennifer McCabe and Kerry Roberts. And
Yeah, but Kerry didn't keep up her end of the bargain this time.
No, I did actually go into that.
Because she said that she didn't hear her say, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him." She didn't hear that.
Yes. So she got impeached and lied to the grand jury, pretty much. And that was where I was focusing. That was where I was going to focus.
Sorry.
Dream on. No, that's where I was going to start. And yes, she did. She did pretty much throw her under the proverbial bus.
She ain't going to be hanging out with the cool kids no more. No more ribbon strips for her.
I've got the there. I will link them. So you were able to access that zip file with the JPEG, with the PDFs? Okay. So if I link that in the description box, people can read those reports then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
All right, I'll do that. So the defence.
The one question I want to know: how many times did Jen McCabe say sorry compared to last time? I reckon it was 14,753 this time.
I have got that report. It's in here.
Oh, cool.
I remember looking it up. So the likely verdict at this point: 2nd-degree murder. The prosecution has not established malice beyond a reasonable doubt. The inconsistencies in witness testimony and Reid's alleged "I hit him" statements significantly undermine this charge. Manslaughter while operating under the influence. Whilst there is evidence of her intoxication, there remains reasonable doubt about whether she actually struck O'Keefe with her vehicle and leaving the scene. This charge depends on proving Reid knowingly hit O'Keefe, which faces the same reasonable doubt challenges. So the most likely outcome, if the jury was presented with this information today, a jury would most likely return a verdict of not guilty on all charges. Now, I then went on to ask it if it had an alternative suspect and who it would be and why. And I've got to find where
Where that one is?
where I asked it. Because I've got the whole list of Jen McCabe's statements from trial 1, trial 2, and the differences. And I've got the same with Kerry's, there, and there, which I will pin. And then whether or not, how Kerry's testimony impacted Jen. That's all on there. And then, where's my question? Yes, she definitely, absolutely throws Jennifer McCabe under the bus.
Not a big enough bus, though, is the problem.
Okay, here we go. Who would you nominate from the total witness list as an alternative suspect for John's death and why? Can you read that?
Oh, Brian Higgins. Big with snowplow. Yes. See, that's where the snowplow, but
Based
I
solely
don't
on
know.
trial evidence presented in both
Yeah.
trials, Brian Higgins emerges as the most compelling alternative suspect. My analysis focuses purely on means, opportunity, motive, and suspicious behaviour as presented in court documents. He had the means, the vehicle with the snowplow. Higgins possessed a Jeep Wrangler equipped with a snowplow, a potential instrument capable of causing blunt force trauma injuries similar to those
That's
seen
right.
on O'Keefe.
Yes,
Who
if he
said
fell
that?
back onto it.
Whoa, he could drive into him. Raise the snowplow up, bang, hit him in the back of the head.
True. But that's where if he didn't go into the house, then that may have happened that way.
Could have
But
gone in and come out together. That's
oh,
not-
they could have said, "Get out, take that outside, you dicks, if you're going to fight." Yeah.
Correct.
But then where does Chloe come into it? Because Chloe, would she protect Brian Higgins?
Well, they could have.
I think Chloe
done
did it.
something. Chloe's.
Maybe even Chloe did do it. That's the thing. You don't know. Because maybe Chloe, okay, he's gone down the basement, as we said, to have a drink with the boys. And Chloe doesn't like new people. Chloe's tacked and he's fallen over and hitting his head on the weight things. And maybe
Why
because
was
it's inside his friggin' house, that's why they want to cover it up. But yeah, I don't think it's Higgins either, because I don't think Jen McCabe and Nicole Albert and Caitlin would try. Well, she tried to lie. She's not very good at it. I don't think they'd all lie to him. You know what I mean? Whereas the cops would.
Yes. His law enforcement training as an ATF special agent and former lieutenant with Cambridge Fire Department. Higgins would have knowledge of crime scenes and evidence handling. He had the opportunity. He was present at the scene. Unaccounted for time periods, because I can find nothing.
Yeah.
Vehicle positioning discrepancies.
That was the other thing in this trial. In the last trial, didn't they say she was parked parallel to the footpath, and now they're saying she was actually in the driveway? I thought they said, Jen McCabe said last time it was the other way. Anyway.
No one was in the driveway, because that was part of Higgins's. He said he arrived, did the whole clear the driveway plow thing, because he was being a dick, because there was no snow or very little, and then parked it so that the rear of his Jeep was in line with the mailbox, so that it did not obstruct the driveway. He was very specific in that, but that's exactly when Ryan Nagel said he parked at the same time.
Yeah.
But
So was Karen parked in, like you drive in, you're coming down the road, you drive into your house? Or was she parked parallel to the gutter?
No.
Which way was she?
So she was parked
Then why did you need to do a 3-point turn?
at the end when she left. So
Oh, okay, yeah, because if she was parallel to the gutter, she might need to.
so
Right, yep, okay.
Ryan and Karen came in together and were turning into Fairview, and he gave right away to Karen to go in first, and he followed her in afterwards and pulled in straight behind her. But no one saw John. No one. Not even Julie coming out to see her brother.
Yeah, well, he was already gone by then, wasn't it? Because why would Julie come out and say, no, she's not going home yet?
Well, that was before his phone stopped being used. So either John's jumped out of that car and run inside and not been seen by anybody, because Ryan pulled up straight after her. I don't know.
Yeah, but how long's his idea of straight after her?
No, his phone. Remember, he texted.
All
her.
right.
So we're
Oh, his sister. Mm-hmm.
yes, and we have Jen's testimony of the timeline of when Karen was there, plus her GPS hitting the Wi-Fi at John's house. So that sort of.
But she said, Jen McCabe said she was still there until at least 12:30, then 12:45 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but hang on, how'd she connect to that Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's then when she left, Karen did a 3-point turn to go back the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So yeah, the suspicious behaviour. He admits to disposing of his phone.
Yeah, that's rubbish. But
the
Brian Albert did too.
Connections and potential motives. He's a close friend of Brian Albert with a strong personal connection to the owner of the property. Part of the tight-knit law enforcement community referenced through the trial. Potential conflict while specific motive evidence is limited in available documents. His proximity to the case participants and unusual actions suggest potential personal involvement. Supporting context. The contrary testimonies about Higgins' vehicle positioning between McCabe and Nagel, which is not true, create a critical timeline issue that was never resolved. Destroying evidence after preservation order is extraordinarily suspicious. And the defence focus on Higgins' actions, including challenging his denied phone calls, suggests investigators found his behaviour worthy of scrutiny. This analysis is based solely on the trial documents reviewed and represented a reasonable alternative suspect theory based on the evidence presented in court. It does not constitute a personal accusation, but rather identifies among all witnesses had the strongest combination of means, opportunity, and suspicious behaviour, according to trial testimony. So there you go. So I think this AI, this tool, the database, is just.
Yes, I mean, because based on what we've heard so far, yes, Higgins probably is the most likely suspect, but I think we've got a little bit more to hear about some other people yet, because, yeah, I don't think Jen McCabe and that would protect him.
No. Now, where did I ask about Jen McCabe?
And Nicole Albert, she said, when she said his name, it was like she spat it out, you know what I mean? So maybe that they are protecting him and she doesn't appreciate protecting him, you know?
Probably. I was asking about, because when we were watching her testimony, they were trying to work out who she was talking to and what law enforcement she was talking to. So I was going through that, and it was the end of that, I think, that I asked how many times she apologised.
But he got her in the end from Miss Little Nice Girl. She started cracking back at him. That's what he wanted.
That lists all the phone calls between her and Proctor.
I just can't believe that they didn't make report. You know, like what was the dude that testified today or yesterday? No, the other one, the one with bald head. Hang on, I'll tell you in a sec.
The last 2 days have been Yuri.
Yeah, no, I think it was the day before that. Oh, I just had all those open. Where were they? There.
Oh, how did I get on that?
Where are they all? Oh, that'd be under photo. There they are. Oh, no, that's only the... I've got all the little thingies here. Actually, probably but easy to look it up on my phone.
Memory lapses and inability to recall. Trial 1, 18 instances in cross-examination. And 9 at the time when I did it. It was halfway through her testimony, which is why I think Hank scattered a couple of those through, a couple of those answers that she didn't know. No, I know I asked it.
Well, type sorry in the search. Can you look at it? Because this is a PDF document, isn't it, or something? Can you search that document?
Again, yeah.
So which one is it? Jen McCabe's testimony. I've got that, haven't I? In here? Yes.
In AI?
Well, I've got the PDF that you sent me in the thing.
I think that's just a summary of her.
That's interesting.
I'll start a new one. All right. So was it in trial 1 that you wanted to know?
No.
Or both? How many times she said sorry?
Oh, how many times she said sorry? Yeah, comparing one to the other. Yeah.
Okay. That's easy. I'll just do another search. So trial 1, trial 2. Identify and extract Jennifer McCabe's testimony for both trials and examine each for evidence of her making an apology of some sort in either trial. Present it in a 2-column. Oops. I think, oh my God. Spell check's bad. My typing's really bad. Present it in a 2-column table. With trial 1 in the first table and trial 2 in the second. Now, did I put how many? Evidence of, okay. Examine each for the evidence of her making an apology of some sort or another in either trial, and tally. And make a total tally for both. You've got to be pretty specific what you ask it.
Mm-hmm.
Then present it in a 2-column table with trial 1 in the first table and trial 2 in the second. Ta-da! Press. Thinking steps. I'm looking at trial 1. Now I'll look at the Kerry trial 2 folder. Good job. You keep doing that.
Just do it. Tell me what you're doing. Just do it. Yeah, it's all circumstantial, Teresa. It's what ifs and could have beens and maybes. That they've been stopped on that a little bit. If you don't really know, don't say it. You know, so.
Yeah, but testimony is evidence. Once you've testified, it becomes evidence.
Once you've said yes to it, it's evidence. If you said, I don't know, it's not. Now, that was explained today by our lovely old Auntie Bev. There you go.
Oh, yeah. That's how the jury weighs it up. But your testimony under oath becomes evidence the second that you sit on that stand and can be used.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my hands, my knuckles. Ow.
What's the matter?
Ugh, it's cold. They're sore.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, with your arthritis. Yeah.
I might have to put my copper gloves on tonight, I think. Come on. I've got too many tabs open, that's why. You can go. What's that one? Yeah, you can go. Bye-bye, Ness Kim. Thank you for that. That was lovely. Okay, Jennifer McCabe, testimony analysis. Apologies in trial 1 and 2. These are all the searches that I've done, the answers. So that's my history of answers. Yeah.
You have been busy.
But you've got to go back in, further back, and then that's where you'll find all the, where I've uploaded all the shit. Okay. Oh, shit, what have I done?
The new one. You're supposed to have the new one, is no?
Did I just click on something different doing that?
I don't know.
Come on.
What's that one over there? There it is, yeah.
That's it. Okay. All right. Total count 4 times. I'm sorry. Oh, I reckon it's more than that.
And so do I.
More specific in
Yeah.
my wording. Instead of just saying apology, I need to say I don't recall, I don't remember, I apologise,
No, Teresa, if it's a hung jury, it's up to the prosecution whether they want to retry her again. But I think what's really got to be defined for the jury this time is they're 3 separate charges, and you can find not guilty on one and guilty on another, you know what I mean? And make sure there's a bloody not guilty box on there too, like... that's how we do it in Massachusetts. Good. Remind me never to live there. Yeah.
So, apologies were primarily related to memory lapses and corrections, often following statements where she couldn't recall specific details. Child 2 apologies appeared in a wider range of contexts, including clarifications, corrections, and procedural matters during testimony.
I think you've got to look for the word actual sorry, not apologies. Because it was sorry that she said, not I apologise. So how many times did she actually say sorry and put sorry as the word, the key word? What do you mean you're not watching third trial? Teresa, do you really think if this is a hung jury again that the Commonwealth are going to spend the money? I mean, shit, they're going to end up paying Hank Brennan $1 million, and they've already spent $1 million in the last. There's no way they'll retry her. And Hank sure as shit won't do it. Yeah.
He's too arrogant. He's too arrogant.
Mm.
No, he won't set himself up to fail again.
There's no way. And then Mr. Morrissey, the DA himself, mate. Oh my God, what he said beforehand. That how is he the DA, man? I mean, he should be elected out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm over. I can't. I just can't.
No, don't say that too fast.
Lived and breathed this trial for long enough. Once it's over, it's over. All right, my lovelies. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm going to sign off because I'm exhausted.
Yes.
And hop into my warm Betty Buys. Actually,
I am
shower.
too. Yes, I think I need a shower too.
Mhm.
I'm going to have a shower, a nice hot shower,
Mhm.
and jump into bed.
Warm myself up, jump into the kitty cats and snuggle. I slept all day again today. Why am I so tired? Like, what the fuck?
Because you haven't slept properly for the last 5 days.
Yeah,
So
I
therefore
did.
on the weekends you have to sleep all the time.
I slept till 5:30 the other day, and yeah, I've got my girlies coming over today. So you too, sweetheart. You too.
You too,
All those mothers out there
Teresa.
have an amazing Mother's Day. Let's get rid of this.
Well, I sent a text to my daughter today saying, have you got my present yet? And she said, oh, I've got something. She said, but it's not a lot. And I said, oh, you don't have to give me a lot anyway. I said, but if you happen to be going past Coles, I said, Reese's peanut butter bars are on special or the cups are on special for $1.25 a packet.
And how
But
many
if you order online, as we know, you're restricted to 12. I got 2 boxes today. Just walked in, got 2 boxes.
Yeah, how many have you eaten? How many have
Lots.
you eaten?
I don't know. No, it was less than, because there's 48 in 2 boxes, and I only got 45. It was missing some. I know I'm going to go back tomorrow and see if I can get some more.
Well, thank you very much for helping me, Chen.
That's okay. It was fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't. At least I'm a bit more prepared. Hang on, I want to just set my camera a bit better while we're here. That it's actually, I'm looking at its eyeballs, you know. Yeah. Down here now. Actually, what I want to do is move it further away, and then I can zoom in with the software instead.
Mm.
Oh, no, that's no good, is it? Ah, now it's on an angle. Ha
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Now we just need to go down a bit. Not that far. No.
All right.
Oh,
We'll say good night, and you can play with that.
okay. I'll play with it another time. I'll practice on my
You
thing.
can still
Yeah.
play with it, but just off screen, like when we sign off.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, that's right. We're still on, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah.
Love you all.
Love you all. Bye.
For the record, come on in. Stories that make your head spin. For the record, come what may. Listen in and have your say. Each and every case and file. Each and every court and trial. Listen to our voices true. Each one with their point of view.